Okay, so today we're going to talk about one-step equations. This is very, very simple, very, very simple. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to try to put some stuff in your words to know. If there's anything you don't know, like the word isolate, if you don't know what that is, put that in your words to know. If you don't know what equivalent equations are, put that in your words to know. If you don't know what equation is, look it up, put that in there, and then solution. If you don't know what a solution is, put that in there as well. Okay? So realistically, all you got to know is inverse operations. So the inverse operation of addition is subtraction. The inverse operation of subtraction is addition. Multiplication's inverse operation is division, and division's inverse operation is multiplication. So real quick, if we look at this one, it says what is the solution to x plus 13 equals 27? Ideally, all you got to do is just think of what is, you want to get x completely by itself. So what is the opposite of, what's the inverse operation of adding? And that is subtracting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 13 from both sides. Okay, and if I subtract 13 from both sides, then I have x by itself and it equals looks like 14. And now I can go back and check. Anywhere I see an x, I can put 14 plus 13. Does 14 plus 13 equal 27? Yes, it does. I'm good to go. All right. So you have got it. Pause the video and do it, and I'll see you back here in just a sec. All right. Next one. You have negative 7 equals b minus 3 right there. So you want to get the b by itself. So what are you going to do? What's the opposite of minus 3? Well, that's plus 3. So you're just going to add 3 to both sides. Okay? Real easy. Draw your lines underneath here. This gets me a negative 4, and this is equal to b. Now I can go back and check. Let's see, negative 7. Is that the same as doing negative 4 minus 3? Well, signs are the same. We add, we get negative 7. It checks out. So I know that I got that right. All right, so you got it. Pause the video, do it. I'll see you back here in a second. This one says solving equations using division. Well, the reason why they say that is because what's happening to the letter x? It's being multiplied by 4. So on this one, all I have to do is do the opposite of being multiplied. And the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4. Now I use the fraction bar to do that. So I get x equals, and what is 6.4 divided by 4? So I'm going to go 6.4 divided by 4, and I get 1.6. So I get 1.6. So it's 1.6 is my answer. Now I can check that by doing 4 times 1.6, and the question is that 6.4? So if I do that, if I do 4 times 1.6, I get 6.4. So then I'm absolutely correct, 100%. So you have a got it. Why don't you pause the video and do your two got it's for A and B, and I'll see you back here in a second. All right, looking at multiplication. This is a little different because you have x over 4 equals negative 9. So when you think of this, what's happening to the letter x? It's being divided by a 4. So what you're going to do is you're going to multiply by that 4. So you're going to multiply both sides by that 4. And so when I multiply this, I get 4x over 4 equals negative 36. And that's mumbo jumbo. So I get x equals negative 36. Now, I can check this by doing negative 36 divided by 4. Is that negative 9? It sure is. So that was really easy. You have a got it. Why don't you pause the video and do your got it? And I'll see you back here in just a second. Now, this one's a little different. This one you have 4/5 m equals 28. So to solve this one, this is a fraction, but it's not a perfect, a nice fraction, like a 1 over 5 or something like that. So to do this one, all I got to do is multiply both sides of the equation by the reciprocal. So what is the reciprocal of 4/5? That's right, it's 5 over 4. So multiply both sides of this equation by 5 over 4. Okay, I'm going to put 28 over 1. This gives me 20 over 20m, which is mumbo jumbo. And then this gets me, I can do this. I can take that 1, that's a 1, and 7 times 4. So 7 times 5 is 35. So m is 35. So then what I can do is I can go back and I can plug this into my letter m and do this and see, is this equal to 28? Well, I don't know. 5 goes into 35 7 times. 7 times 4 is 28. Cool. Got it. Now, speaking of got it, you have one. Why don't you pause the video and go ahead and do it. All right, here's a story problem. It says, using a one-step equation as a mile. So toucans and blue and yellow macaws are both tropical birds. The length of an average toucan is about 2/3 of the length of an average blue and yellow macaw. Toucans are about 24 inches long. What is the length of an average blue and yellow macaw? I have no idea, and neither do you. But we do have a few things to think about. What do we have? If we look at this, we have the 24-inch toucan, and we have the unknown macaw. All right. And what we do know is that the toucan is 2/3 that of the macaw. So 2/3 is a fraction of 2 over 3. So 2/3 of the length of the macaw is the length of the toucan, if that makes sense. 2/3 L equals 24. Now this one, what are we going to do? Well, that's a regular, that's a fraction, but it's a non-perfect fraction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 2 times, or 2/3 is 3/2. So I'm going to multiply both sides of this equation by 3 over 2. And I should get something pretty easy. So when I do this, I get 6 over 6 L equals, and then 2 goes in there, and I think it goes in there like 12. So L equals 36. So it's 36 inches in length. So a macaw is like a parrot. Is 36 inches in length. Those suckers get to be 3 feet long. That's a big bird. Okay, so what I want you to do is do your got it. And if you're having a hard time with the got it, we will do it in class. And then this is the end now. Now rate yourself. Can you do you know any of these words? If you know equivalent equations, check it. If you don't, put this in your word to know. And then isolate, I know what that is. Inverse operations, I know what that is. Addition property, I know that. Division property, I know that. Multiplication property, I know that. And subtraction property, I know that, because they're all in my guided notes, I believe. Then rank yourself if you know how to use these things. But what I want you to do is I want you to make sure you put the words you don't know in your words to know. I'll see you tomorrow in class, and may the force